Welcome to my channel, and today we are going to talk about something that can completely change the direction of your life. Something simple but extremely powerful, something that decides whether you stay stuck in confusion or grow into a disciplined and successful person, and that thing is focus. Because the truth is that many people have dreams, many people have goals, many people even talk about success every single day, but very few people are actually able to stay focused long enough to turn those dreams into reality. And the main reason is not lack of ability, not lack of opportunity, but lack of control over the mind. Because the modern world is full of distractions everywhere you look, your phone is constantly pulling your attention. Social media is designed to trap your time. Negative thoughts keep attacking your confidence. Fear keeps whispering that you cannot do it. Overthinking keeps delaying your actions, and people's opinions slowly start controlling your decisions. And because of all this, your mind becomes scattered, weak, and overloaded. And when the mind is not trained to stay in one direction, you start many things but finish nothing. You feel motivated for a short time but lose energy quickly. You feel excited in the beginning but give up when things become difficult. But here is the most important truth you need to understand from today. Focus is not a talent that only a few lucky people are born with. Focus is a skill. And like every skill, it can be trained, improved, and mastered with practice. And that is exactly what we are going to build today, step by step, through powerful lessons that can reshape your thinking and your daily habits. Because if you learn how to protect your attention, you can change your entire life. And the first and most powerful lesson is to imagine your future self clearly. Because one of the biggest reasons people lose focus is that they have no clear picture of where they are going. They wake up every day and move without direction. They study or work without vision. They try things without purpose. And when there is no clear future in the mind, distractions automatically become stronger than discipline. But when you create a strong vision of your future, your brain starts to behave differently. It starts to guide your actions. It starts to filter distractions, and it starts to protect your time because your mind always follows pictures more than words. If you constantly imagine failure, your emotions become weak. But if you constantly imagine success, your energy becomes strong. And this is why you must train your mind to see your future clearly. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. Imagine yourself more confident, more disciplined, more focused. Imagine yourself speaking better, improving daily, achieving goals that once felt impossible. And when you connect emotionally with that future version of yourself, something powerful happens inside your brain. You begin to develop direction, and direction creates discipline. Because now every action you take is connected to something meaningful. For example, if a person wants to become healthy, they naturally start avoiding junk food and start exercising, not because someone forced them, but because they can see the future version of themselves clearly. And the same rule applies to every goal in life. When your future becomes clear, your present behavior starts to change automatically. And this vision also becomes your strongest weapon in difficult moments, because there will be days when you feel tired, days when you feel lazy, days when you want to quit everything. But in those moments, your future vision reminds you why you started, it reminds you what you are building, and it pushes you forward even when motivation disappears. So take a moment every day, even for a few minutes, close your eyes and imagine your future life in detail. Feel it emotionally, see it clearly, believe it strongly, because a clear future creates a focused mind, and a focused mind creates a powerful life. And this is just the beginning of learning how to control your attention and build unstoppable focus in your life. Once you understand the power of vision, the next thing you must learn is how to actually begin your journey without getting stuck in overthinking, because one of the biggest reasons people lose focus is not lack of motivation, but confusion at the starting point. They have too many ideas in their mind, too many goals in their head, too many responsibilities they think about at once, and because everything feels important, nothing feels clear. And when the mind becomes overloaded like this, it naturally freezes. You start thinking, I should do this first. Or maybe that first, what if I choose the wrong path? What if I waste my time? What if I fail? And because of these thoughts, you keep delaying action. You keep planning but never starting. You keep preparing but never executing. And slowly, this habit destroys your focus even before your journey truly begins. But you must understand a very powerful truth here. You do not need to see the entire path to start walking. You only need to see the next step. Life is not about having perfect clarity before action. Clarity comes after action, not before it. Just like when you drive at night, you do not see the entire road ahead. You only see a small part in front of you. But that small light is enough to keep moving forward safely. And in the same way your life works, you don't need everything figured out. You only need to begin with one simple step. For example, if someone wants to improve their English, they often get overwhelmed thinking, I need grammar, vocabulary, fluency, pronunciation, confidence, and because there are too many things to learn, they feel mentally tired before even starting. But if they simply focus on one action, like speaking for 10 minutes daily, everything becomes easier. Because now the mind is no longer confused. It has direction. It has simplicity. And when the mind feels simple, focus becomes natural. And this is why small action is extremely powerful, because small action removes pressure from your brain, it reduces fear, and it creates momentum. And momentum is the real secret behind focus. Because once you start doing something, even in a small way, your brain starts feeling progress, and progress creates motivation automatically. But when you do nothing, your mind becomes heavier, you start feeling guilty, you start feeling stuck, and your focus gets weaker and weaker. And another important problem people face is perfection. They wait for the perfect time, the perfect mood, the perfect plan, but perfection is often just fear hiding behind excuses. No successful person ever started perfectly. Every successful person started confused, started small, started imperfectly. But the difference is they started, and that is what matters most, because action creates clarity, not thinking. So instead of asking, how do I do everything perfectly, ask yourself, what is the smallest step I can take right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. Maybe it is reading one page. Maybe it is writing one idea. Maybe it is studying for 5 minutes. Because small steps still move you forward. And when you repeat these small steps daily, they become powerful habits, and habits become discipline, and discipline becomes focus, and focus becomes success. And this is the real chain of transformation. And another important thing you must understand is comparison, because many people lose focus when they compare their beginning to someone else's middle. They look at successful people and feel behind, they feel discouraged, they feel like they are not good enough. But you must remember every person has a different journey, different timing, and different struggles. So instead of comparing, focus only on your next step because your progress matters more than someone else's speed. And when you stop overthinking and start acting in small steps, your confidence slowly builds, your clarity increases, and your focus becomes stronger day by day. And this is how real change begins, not in one big moment, but in small, consistent actions that you repeat every single day. Once you start taking small, consistent actions and you understand that progress builds through simple daily steps, the next powerful stage of focus is learning how to regularly check in with yourself. Because many people stay busy all day but still feel lost. They move from one task to another, from phone to work, from work to distractions. And at the end of the day, they feel like they were active but not productive. And this happens because they never pause to reflect on what they are actually doing. They never ask themselves whether their actions are taking them closer to their goals or pulling them away. And when there is no self awareness, the mind starts running on autopilot. You waste time without realizing it, you lose energy without noticing it, and slowly your focus gets scattered without you even understanding why. But when you develop the habit of checking in with yourself, everything changes because awareness brings control, and control brings focus. And this means you start observing your thoughts, your habits, and your actions. Honestly, not in a harsh way, not to criticize yourself, but to understand yourself better. For example, you might realize that you planned to study but ended up scrolling on your phone for 2 hours. And instead of ignoring it or blaming yourself, you pause and ask, why did this happen? What distracted me? What can I change tomorrow? And this simple reflection creates growth because awareness always leads to improvement, And another important thing is that self checking is not about negative self talk. It is not about saying, I am lazy or I am useless. Instead, it is about calm observation, like a teacher guiding a student. You learn to say, I got distracted today because I had no clear plan, or I lost focus because I was tired. And this kind of thinking helps you fix the real problem instead of attacking yourself. And over time, this habit makes your mind stronger and more disciplined, and it also helps you understand your emotions, because many times lack of focus is not laziness, it is stress, fear, pressure, or mental fatigue. And when you never check yourself, these emotions silently control you. But when you reflect regularly, you become aware of what is happening inside your mind, and awareness gives you power to change it. And this is why even a few minutes of reflection every day can completely transform your focus. For example, at the end of the day, you can simply ask yourself, what did I do well today? What distracted me today? And what can I improve tomorrow? And these small questions slowly build mental clarity. And during the day, you can also pause for a few seconds and ask, am I focused right now? Am I doing something meaningful? And this small habit alone can save you from hours of distraction because it brings your attention back to the present moment. And when you combine self awareness with action and consistency, your focus becomes much stronger and more stable. And now you are not just working harder, you are working smarter because you are guiding your mind instead of letting it wander randomly. And this is where real discipline begins. Not from pressure, but from understanding yourself deeply and improving step by step. Once you build self awareness and you start guiding your mind instead of letting it drift, the next level of focus is learning how to take care of the way you speak to yourself. Because many people don't realize this, but the biggest distraction in their life is not outside, it is inside their own mind, the way they talk to themselves every single day. Because if your inner voice is constantly negative, constantly critical, constantly attacking you, then your mind will never feel stable enough to focus properly. You may try to study, try to work, try to build discipline. But inside, there is always pressure, always self doubt, always mental noise saying, I am not good enough, I always fail, I cannot do this. And this kind of inner dialogue slowly weakens your confidence and drains your energy. And when your energy is low, your focus automatically becomes weak. But when you change the way you speak to yourself, everything starts to shift because your brain listens to your own words more than anyone else's. So if you keep telling yourself that you are improving, that you are learning, that you are capable of growing step by step, your mind starts to relax, your stress reduces, and focus becomes easier. And this does not mean you ignore mistakes or stop improving. It means you guide yourself with patience instead of destroying yourself with negativity. For example, instead of saying I am useless, you can say I made a mistake, but I can learn from it. Instead of saying I never stay focused, you can say I am learning how to focus better every day, and these small changes in language create a big change in mindset because words shape emotions, and emotions shape attention, and attention shapes your entire life. And when your mind feels supported instead of attacked, you naturally become calmer. And a calm mind always focuses better than a stressed mind. And this is why self kindness is not weakness, it is strength, it is emotional intelligence, it is the ability to stay steady even when things are difficult. And along with this, another powerful habit that helps your focus is journaling, because when your mind is full of thoughts, worries, and emotions, it becomes very difficult to concentrate. You sit down to work, but your mind keeps jumping between past mistakes and future fears, and this mental noise destroys focus. But when you write your thoughts down, your mind becomes lighter. Because journaling is like emptying your brain onto paper. You take everything that is inside you and organize it outside you, and suddenly things become clearer, problems feel smaller, and emotions feel more manageable. And this clarity directly improves your focus, because a crowded mind cannot concentrate, but a clear mind can. And when you combine journaling with reflection, you start noticing patterns in your life, like what distracts you most, what affects your mood, what habits improve your energy. And this awareness helps you make better decisions, and better decisions protect your focus. And another important lesson is being specific with your goals. Because vague goals like, I want success or I want to improve my life are not enough, they confuse your mind instead of guiding it. But when you make your goals specific, like, I will study for 1 hour daily, or I will practice speaking for 20 minutes every evening, your brain knows exactly what to do. And when your brain knows what to do, focus becomes natural and procrastination becomes weaker. And slowly, your life becomes more structured, more clear, and more controlled. And finally, the most important message from all these lessons is this: focus is not something you find, it is something you build every single day through your habits, your thoughts, your actions, and your environment. And when you protect your mind, stay aware, stay kind to yourself, stay consistent with small steps, and stay clear about what you want, you slowly become a person who is not easily distracted anymore. A person who can stay on track even when life is noisy, and that is the real power of focus. And if you apply even a few of these lessons consistently, your entire direction in life will begin to change in a powerful way.